There are 3 crossovers sitting on used car lots right now that salespeople can't give away, and every mechanic I know is quietly buying them for their own families. These aren't project cars. These aren't good for the price compromises. I'm talking about vehicles that will run 300,000 miles with nothing but oil changes and brake pads, selling for $6,000 less than they should because of one stupid reason: nobody knows they exist. After 22 years of turning wrenches, I've watched people overpay for reliable CR-Vs and RAV4s, while these 3 just sit there, waiting for someone smart enough to notice. And car number 1? That one's been my secret recommendation for 5 years. I've probably put a dozen customers into them, and not one has come back with a major repair. Not one. Today I'm counting down my 3 most underrated crossovers on the market. The ones that offer Toyota-level reliability at Kia-level prices. I'm going deepest on number 1 because that's the one that'll change how you shop. Let's get into it. Car number 3, Mazda CX-30, 2026. Number 3 is a crossover that mechanics love to see roll in, not because it needs work, but because when it does, everything is straightforward and cheap. And you can pick one up right now for $7,000 less than a comparable Honda CR-V. I had a customer last year, a younger guy, maybe 28, come in asking me to inspect a Honda CR-V he was about to buy. 2024 model, 32,000 miles, dealer wanted $32,500. I looked at the maintenance history, looked at what was coming due, and told him straight, "You're about to spend $32,000 on a car that's fine, but you're paying a $7,000 premium just for the Honda badge." He asked what I'd buy instead. I pulled up AutoTrader on my phone and showed him a 2026 Mazda CX-30 Preferred with 28,000 miles for $25,800. Same size class, better driving dynamics, equal reliability, $6,700 less. He bought it. That was 14 months ago. You know what he spent on repairs? $63. An air filter and an oil change. Here's what nobody tells you about the CX-30. It's not really a budget crossover. It was engineered on Mazda's newest platform, the same one they use for the Mazda 3, which won multiple reliability awards. The 2.5-liter Skyactiv G4 cylinder, that's the same engine architecture that's been proven bulletproof for over a decade. The 6-speed automatic is their own design, and it's rock solid. No CVT nonsense, no dual-clutch gambling, just a traditional torque converter automatic that shifts smooth and lasts. Average used price for a 2026 CX-30 with under 40,000 miles? $25,000 to $28,000. Compare that to a same-year Honda CR-V. $32,000 to $36,000. That's $7,000 to $8,000 in difference for mechanically equivalent vehicles. Timing chain replacement on the CX-30, if you ever need it, which is rare past 200,000 miles, $900. On the CR-V, $1,400 minimum. The available turbo on the CX-30 turbo trim is actually accessible. I can replace it in 4 hours. The CR-V turbo requires removing half the front end. You're looking at $2,800 in labor alone. If you're shopping for one of these, here's the inspection checklist. First, check the infotainment system response time. Some 2024-2025 models had a software update that needed to be applied. If it's been updated, you're golden. Second, look at the brake wear pattern. Uneven wear means the previous owner drove aggressively or neglected maintenance. Not a deal breaker, but negotiate $300 off. Third, test the all-wheel drive system if equipped. Take it to an empty parking lot. Turn tight circles both directions. Any clicking or binding? Walk away or get $200 knocked off for a transfer case service. Bottom line on the CX-30, you're getting a premium driving experience with non-premium repair bills. The only reason this car is cheap is because your neighbor doesn't know what it is. But if you think the CX-30 is overlooked, this next car might be the most unfairly judged crossover in America, and the depreciation on these is honestly insulting to how good they've become. Car number 2, Kia Sportage, 2026. Number 2 has some of the longest warranties of any midsize crossover on the road. Longer than Toyota, longer than Honda, and it depreciates like it's got a disease. I've been tracking this for years now, and every time a 5th-generation Kia Sportage rolls into my shop, I almost get disappointed because there's nothing wrong with it. Oil changes, brake pads, tires. That's it. Last month I had a 2024 come in with 78,000 miles. Guy bought it new, drove it for 2 years, and wanted to know what big maintenance was coming up. I put it on the lift, inspected everything: suspension, brakes, undercarriage, pulled codes, checked the transmission fluid. You know what I found? Nothing. The original spark plugs still had life in them. I told him to come back in another 30,000 miles. He looked at me like I was lying. I get that reaction a lot with these cars. Kia did something smart with the 5th generation Sportage that launched in 2022. They stopped trying to compete on price alone and started competing on quality. The 2.5-liter SmartStream engine doesn't use a CVT. It uses an 8-speed automatic that's co-developed with Hyundai's luxury division. That's the same transmission you'll find in a Genesis GV70. The naturally aspirated version makes 187 horsepower and gets 28 mpg highway. The turbo version, 281 horsepower. That's more power than a Honda Passport. Current market prices will make you angry if you overpaid for Korean cars in the past. A 2026 Kia Sportage EX with 35,000 miles, you're looking at $26,000 to $29,000. A same-year Honda CR-V EX with similar miles, $33,000 to $36,000. That's a $7,000 difference for a car that, in my experience, costs less to maintain over time. The most expensive repair I've ever done on a 5th-gen Sportage was a wheel bearing at 92,000 miles. $420 parts and labor. The average surprise repair on a same-age CR-V, $980. When you're test driving a used Sportage, pay attention to 3 things. First, the infotainment screen response time. If it's laggy, the software needs an update. That's free at the dealer, but it tells you the previous owner didn't maintain it properly. Second, check the tire tread depth on all 4 corners. If they're significantly uneven, the alignment was neglected. That's a $450 issue if you need new tires soon. Third, and this is specific to the turbo models, listen for any turbo whistle at idle. There shouldn't be any. If you hear it, walk away. That's a $2,200 turbo replacement waiting to happen. Who should buy this car? If you want maximum warranty coverage, the Sportage still carries Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. That's transferable to second owners. If you're keeping a car past 150,000 miles and want the lowest possible maintenance cost, this is your car. If you're tired of overpaying for the Honda badge, this is your escape. Who should skip it? If you need maximum cargo space, the Sportage is smaller than the Sorento. If you're buying for resale value in 3 years, stick with Toyota, because the market hasn't caught up to how good Kia has become yet. And if you absolutely must have that premium badge prestige, you won't get it here. Here's the mechanic math on the Sportage. Buy it for $27,000. Drive it for 150,000 miles. Spend maybe $3,200 on maintenance total. You will not find a better dollars per mile deal in the mid-size crossover category. Alright, that was number 2. This last one, number 1. This is the car I recommend more than any other to people who ask me what to buy. And almost everyone pushes back at first, until they drive one. If this kind of straight talk is helping you, hit subscribe. I've got more videos coming on the cars dealerships push versus the ones that actually make sense. Car number 1, Subaru Crosstrek, 2026. Number 1 is a compact crossover with the same reliability as a Toyota RAV4, standard all-wheel drive that actually works. More ground clearance than both the CR-V and RAV4, and it's selling for $6,000 less because the average buyer thinks Subaru is that lesbian car, or for hippies in Vermont. Let me tell you about the customer who almost argued with me about this car. 2 years ago, a woman came in, mid-40s, professional, needed something reliable for a 50-mile daily commute through Michigan winters. She'd been looking at RAV4s and CR-Vs and had a budget of $32,000. I asked if she'd considered the Crosstrek. She literally laughed, said, "That's what my yoga instructor drives." I walked her outside to my shop and pointed at my personal car, a 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness with 94,000 miles on it. I bought it with 45,000 miles for $27,800. At that point, I'd put maybe $1,600 into it total, and that included a full brake job and new all-terrain tires. She bought a 2025 Crosstrek Limited the next week for $29,400 with 32,000 miles. Texted me last month. She's at 98,000 miles now. Zero mechanical issues. Her exact words: "Why doesn't anyone talk about this car?" The Crosstrek shares its platform, its 2.5-liter boxer engine, and its CVT transmission with the Subaru Outback and Forester. I'm not exaggerating. Same parts, same engineering, same legendary Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive. The FB25 boxer engine is one of the most reliable 4-cylinders Subaru has ever built. It doesn't have the head gasket issues of the old EJ engines. It doesn't have direct injection carbon buildup problems. It just runs. I've seen these engines go 350,000 miles, not, I heard about one. I've personally worked on 4 of them north of 300,000 miles with original transmissions. let's talk numbers because this is where it gets ridiculous. A 2026 Crosstrek Limited with 30,000 miles? $28,000 to $31,000. A 2026 Toyota RAV4 XLE with the same miles? $34,000 to $37,000. That's a $6,000 difference for vehicles with identical reliability ratings. The RAV4 has slightly better resale value and a bigger cargo area. That's it. Now compare it to the CR-V. A 2026 CR-V EX with 30,000 miles runs $33,000 to $36,000. Actually more expensive than some Crosstreks, and you're getting a smaller car with less standard features. The Crosstrek comes with standard all-wheel drive. The CR-V charges $1,800 extra for AWD on most trims. Repair costs: the most common maintenance item on these is brake pads, $320 for all 4 wheels installed. CVT fluid change every 60,000 miles? $240. Spark plugs at 100,000 miles? $380. That's it. There's no timing belt. The Boxer engine uses a timing chain that's good for the life of the engine. If you're shopping for a used Crosstrek, here's your inspection checklist. First, check the VIN for any open recalls. The 2024 models had a minor recall for a wiring harness that could chafe. Subaru fixed it for free, but make sure it was done. Second, look at the oil level and condition. Subaru Boxer engines can burn a small amount of oil between changes, especially if driven hard. That's normal. But if the oil is more than half a quart low and it's only been 3,000 miles since the last change, the previous owner drove it aggressively. Not a deal breaker, but factor that into your offer. Third, test the X-Mode system if equipped. That's Subaru's off-road traction control. Find a gravel lot or dirt road, engage X-Mode, and make sure the dashboard indicator lights up and you feel the transmission shift into a lower gear ratio. If it doesn't engage, that's a $900 module replacement. Fourth, and this is the pro tip, inspect the roof rails and crossbars for rust or damage. The Crosstrek is popular with outdoor enthusiasts, so many have been used for kayaks, bikes, or roof boxes. Surface rust on the rails is cosmetic, but structural damage to the mounting points is a safety issue. Who should buy this car? Anyone who lives in snow country. The Crosstrek's ground clearance and standard AWD make it one of the best winter vehicles under $35,000. Anyone who wants Toyota reliability without the Toyota premium. People who need room for gear. The Crosstrek has more interior versatility than a CR-V despite being smaller outside. And anyone smart enough to ignore what other people think about Subaru drivers. Who should avoid it? If you need serious towing capacity, the Crosstrek maxes out at 1,500 pounds. If you want sporty acceleration, the naturally aspirated 2.5-liter is adequate but not quick. And if you live somewhere with no winter weather, and you'll never use the AWD, you might be better off with a front-wheel drive alternative that gets better fuel economy. Here's my final take on the Crosstrek. This is the best car you can buy for under $30,000 if you need something reliable, capable, and practical. Full-size interior, full Subaru reliability, and priced like people don't know what it is. Because they don't. If I had to buy one car right now to drive for the next 10 years with the lowest possible total cost of ownership, I'd buy another Crosstrek and not think twice. So there it is. 3 crossovers that the market forgot, but mechanics didn't. The Mazda CX-30 with Japanese engineering and 0 badge tax. The Kia Sportage that finally earned the respect it deserves but still hasn't gotten market credit for it. And the Subaru Crosstrek, the best kept secret in the entire crossover market. You now know 3 vehicles you can buy for under $30,000 that will outlast crossovers twice their price. Next time you're on a dealer lot and the salesman tries to push you toward a 3-year-old German lease return or an overpriced CR-V, you'll know better. If you want to know which crossovers have actually earned legendary status in the shop, the vehicles that mechanics genuinely respect with the numbers to prove it, I did a whole video on that. It's right here. That's 22 years of watching cars come and go. Hit like if this helped, subscribe for more car advice that dealerships won't give you. Drive safe, take care of your car, and it'll take care of you. I'll see you in the next one.